Imagine a battle where the only enemy is your fellow soldier, and the deadliest weapon is a barrel of booze. Welcome to the curious case of the Battle of Karansebes, a bizarre footnote in the annals of military history that occurred during the Austro-Turkish War of 1788. This story isn't just about a clash of armies. It's a comedy of errors that teaches us that sometimes the greatest battles are fought not against the enemies at the gates, but with the ones within our ranks. Buckle up for a historical ride filled with absurdity, confusion, and a generous pour of alcohol. In September 1788, the Austrian army, buzzing with the anticipation of clashing with the Ottoman forces, marched towards Karánsebes, a town now in modern Romania. The army, a melting pot of various ethnic groups, was not just fighting external foes but also internal communication barriers. On a seemingly ordinary night, a group of Hussar scouts crossed the Timis River to scout ahead. Little did they know, their discovery of a group of Romani selling schnapps would set the stage for one of history's most bewildering battles. The Hussars, deciding to keep the booze a secret from their infantry brethren, refused to share their liquid treasure. What started as a drunken squabble soon escalated into a full-blown brawl. Voices rose, and so did tempers, all lubricated by copious amounts of alcohol. The situation was ripe for disaster, but the chaos had only just begun. As the night deepened, the ruckus attracted the attention of the nearby infantry. Miscommunication led the infantry to believe the Hussars were hoarding something more valuable than alcohol, perhaps enemy spoils. Demands to share the loot were met with drunken jeers and eventually gunfire. The sound of shots in the dark night triggered a chain reaction. A lone voice yelled, "Turks! Turks!" In the inebriated minds of the soldiers, the battle had begun. The cry was taken up, spreading panic like wildfire. The Austrian army, in a state of drunken disarray, believed they had stumbled upon an Ottoman ambush. Meanwhile, officers struggled to regain control, their commands lost in the cacophony of fear and confusion. In a twist of fate, an engineering unit, constructing pontoon bridges in the darkness, heard the commotion and concluded that the enemy was attacking. Their solution: to dismantle the bridges, leaving scores of Austrian soldiers stranded on the wrong side of the river, facing their own comrades in a bewildering standoff. The real chaos erupted when a corps commander, fearing a cavalry charge, ordered an artillery strike. The cannons roared to life, unleashing a deadly barrage. The tragicomic part: the targets were their fellow Austrians. The army, now fully convinced of a Turkish attack, plunged into a frenzied melee. Soldiers fired at shadows, bayoneted the air, and in some accounts, entire units turned on each other, mistaking their comrades for Ottoman forces. The night air was filled with the sounds of gunfire, screams, and the bewildering realization that the enemy was, in fact, themselves. By dawn, the self-inflicted carnage was appalling. An estimated 10,000 soldiers were killed or wounded in the chaos, a grim testament to the destructive power of misunderstanding and alcohol. As the sun rose over the battlefield, the silence was deafening. The Austrians had managed to defeat a formidable opponent without the Ottomans having to fire a single shot. When Ottoman scouts arrived, they found a scene not of strategic brilliance, but of tragic folly. They could hardly believe their luck, encountering an enemy defeated by its own hand. The Battle of Karansebes is more than a historical oddity. It's a tale of caution about the dangers of miscommunication and the folly of underestimating the enemy within. Historians debate the authenticity of the details, but the core story remains a fascinating glimpse into the absurdities of war. Funny fact: the incident is often cited as one of the most ludicrous examples of friendly fire. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the greatest threat to an army isn't the foe waiting across the field, but the unchecked chaos within its own ranks. And so, dear viewers, we conclude the bewildering saga of the Battle of Karansebes, a story where the most formidable adversaries were not fearsome warriors but miscommunication and a few too many bottles of schnapps. It's tales like these that remind us history isn't just a collection of dates and battles. It's the ultimate anthology of human folly, bravery, and the occasional comedy of errors. If you're itching for more tales where history meets hilarity, where the past isn't just studied but enjoyed with a hearty laugh, then look no further. Subscribe to Turkic Tales. Here we dive into the rich tapestry of Turkic history, from the steppes of Central Asia to the grandeur of the Ottoman Empire. Who knew learning could be this entertaining? Don't miss out on our next adventure, where we might uncover why a certain Turkic sultan preferred his pet chickens to his generals, or how a misplaced turban led to an unexpected truce. It's history with a twist, only on Turkic Tales. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and join us on a journey through the quirks and quibbles of the past with Turkic Tales. See you in the next video.